What happened with the police?
When they've been bothering me a lot over the past couple of days.
I mean, what have they done?
They rang me last night just to say they won't give any of my stuff back. Basically.
Wow.
Yep, they said they still need it for ongoing investigation. Like, investigating on what? How to play Super Mario on my Switch, how to play Halo on my Xbox. Right.
Do you have a solicitor at all? A legal person?
Yeah,
Is anyone
yeah,
representing you in this investigation at all?
I can't get hold of him. Only time I can ever speak to him is when I get arrested, and he arrives like 10 hours later.
That's useless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
The last thing I heard from him, he said he's just going to get the whole thing quitted.
He's going to get what?
The last thing he said to me, he's going to get the whole thing.
And when was this?
It's about a month ago now. Yeah, the last thing he said, he's going to get the whole thing quitted.
This was a month ago.
Yeah.
And he's done nothing since.
He hasn't done anything at all.
What kind of idiots have they got in the legal system? Honestly, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I've told you before, I've gone through 2 solicitors now, and none of them have listened to me.
Do you want me to have a word with DT Hayward 7?
With Hayward and
if I'm being honest,
they are just as much as part of it.
I'm not going to pick a side. I'll just say that, look, I'll speak to DT Hayward and Sakori as well, because I know that Sakori is someone who's had an issue with you.
They are just as much as part of it as everybody else is.
I know. I'll tell them that, look, I get what you look. I don't know. What I can say is, look, I don't specifically understand what is your personal issues with Star Wars. All I know is I get that there has been these issues with Momita. But look, at the end of the day, we are all here to play the game.
I know. No.
And I believe that I think it's in the best interest of everybody if they just focus on their own game.
That's what I've been doing, trying to do. As I told you before, they just keep constantly coming after me.
Now, let me ask you a question. Obviously, I'm not saying that I don't take your side or anything. It's just I need to understand, because there's always like something that triggers something, right? Because I mean, a human being doesn't trigger into something if it doesn't start from somewhere. Is there anything that you may have done that's caused all this? Because I mean, I'm just trying to picture the situation. I've seen the screenshots, I've seen the messages and all of that. But what I'm trying to get at is there has to be a 2 + 2 that equals 4, right? And Momita Fine, you asked her about the raid or something, and she happily joined it. After her stream, she personally contacted you to tell you that was it following her, stalking her or something?
I wasn't even doing that. I'm not even stalking her at all. I never was. She had insanely overreacted and got really paranoid. She's trying to make out.
The thing is, paranoid for what?
She has been trying to make out that I've been giving out her exact home location when I never did, and I never have.
Does she have proof of that?
Huh?
Does she have proof of that?
I've got proof of it. As I told you and shown you in a video,
Yeah.
Where does it say her home address? Where does it say this is the home of Momita? It don't at all, does it? She lied. She made it all up. That's where it all started.
This reminds me of a very similar situation I had when me and that Oro fell out.
Yeah.
And he said that he basically said that, because you see, I knew behind the scenes that they were all, him, Jack, and this Mike Newcombs were all gossiping about me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know what they were saying. So I spoke to one of the players called Mangis, and he would tell me everything that would go on. Now, and then the phrase that Rose said to me was like, "Oh, Mufti, you've got drones all around my house," saying like, I can see what's going on. And honestly, it's just honestly, this game sometimes. I was going through my video uploads today.
Yeah.
And I was going through some of the dislikes that people have made, and a lot of them have come from Go Social, not even Pokemon Go. This is TCG Pocket we're talking about.
Yeah.
TCG Pocket, my video game videos, even to the extent of my travel videos, which has nothing to do with Pokemon whatsoever. Wow. They're disliking that as well. And this guy who called me a paedophile in London, and every time, because he knows I'm friends with Ziomini, and me and Ziomini were in GoFest Madrid together, ever since then he's been saying that I'm grooming young children.
What the fuck?
And he's been disliking, and there's a way of getting at me. He's been disliking every single video that I make.
It sounds like he's, targeting you and then, just twisting everything. And just,
this is what I'm trying to say. I was talking to Lord Chris Day on Sunday during Vanillite Day about this whole dramas that go on. I say to him, but can't people just get on with? Can they not just be happy with what they have? I don't see it in any other game. All right, like, any other game people may play, Yu-Gi-Oh cards or whatever. Oh, I never see any of this nonsense.
You should see it in Call of Duty when people do all that swatting. That's terrible.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, for a game,
No.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is not a life and death situation. This is just a game.
Oh, no.
And, in Worthing particularly, they've made me feel so nervous that I can't even... I work in that town, and yet I can't go out because I'm worried. What if they come after me,
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of had the same experience this morning because the ambulance people came up this morning because I had the police ring me up last night and they...
Well, this is what I'm trying to say.
Call up
I think the only solution to this issue, there needs to be a solution to this issue, because it can't keep going on. Now, either I speak to them. Obviously, I don't want to kind of over-involve myself in it because I don't want it backfiring back on me. But at the same time, I'm kind of, as a side person, just obviously watching this whole thing.
Yeah.
And just understanding the concept of what's going on. I mean, to get the police involved? Really?
Yeah,
is this the civilized adults that we are, that we take it to legal people?
No, I know. It's terrible, isn't it? They've come to, that extreme where, they have to...
What they want, I think there has to be more than this. Surely. Ramita it purely you see, what I'm trying to understand, to go to the extent of putting you through not just the police, putting you through daily incursions. Okay.
It's not just that, she's, used the police for her own entertainment which
This is what I'm trying to understand.
pushed me to multiple
Now, there's two
suicide
either
attempts.
things here. One is she's definitely hiding something. There is something to the extent that she's using. She goes to Gaynor, she goes to D.T. Hayward, she goes to Sakori. I did speak to Kiza Magoo a little bit about it the other day, the Brighton pink hair lady, if you know her.
No.
I said to her that, do you know any of this is going on? She says, no, I don't know. She said it's very sad.
Speaking of that, I think I told one of my friends, James, who's friends with people in her community. He's just relaying all the information back to me. He told me that she has got all these people in the background, like helping her out to block everyone to get involved, and just to constantly go after me.
Well, I noticed someone from Brighton disliked the podcast last week. Maybe because you're in it. But I don't care. They're not going to... One thing I have to tell you, that look, you shouldn't let whatever all this is happening scare you.
Oh, that's the thing, though. It is, though. I'm terrified.
I know. But listen, if you run away, okay, this is from my personal experience.
Oh, I've done that a lot.
If you run away, now listen, if you run away, you're giving them a reason, right? Oh, he's scared of us. You have to, and I'm being honest with you, as much as it's difficult, you have to just be you. Don't let them take that away from you. If you in fact, the Backstage podcast is a platform in which you should just be you. They have nothing to do with the podcast. I know D.T. Hayward and some people have tried to tell me, oh, get rid of him. No, I'm not. And I'm not going to.
No, that's ultimately down to you. If people want to quit, or
of course, it's ultimately down to me. They don't have power in that situation.
No, and I'm actually okay being in this little group, and
But at the same time, they know that they can't get on. They can't get on the bad side of me, because I'm well known amongst a lot of the YouTubers and quite a few influencers in the game. So they can't get on bad terms with me because if they do, that's going to cause them problems. They've seen how much it's caused Go Social a lot of problems since they've turned bad with me. I mean, if you go to anyone in Sussex, does anyone tell you anything positive? I mean, if you did talk about Go Social, would they say anything positive? No. In fact, a lot of the Worthing players who were in Go Social, they go to Lord Chris J's Bognery just now. Because they're fed up with the politics that's happening in Go Social. They're fed up of this Jack Saz because he's running 100 miles an hour during raid events and everyone's trying to play catch up.
Wow.
They're just fed up of the drama. Now the thing is, look, you shouldn't be afraid of being on the podcast. In fact, it's something where I'll tell you, I need you to be there. Forget everybody else.
Yeah.
Mufti needs you to be there. If you be there, you show yourself this is who I am.
Okay.
No one can do anything to cut you off it.
I'm not afraid to be there. It's just when I start talking, because I stutter, that's what kind of freaks me out a little bit.
I know, but this is the bit. This is the element called this. This is sometimes this is the hardest thing in your life to probably face. It's but these are the challenges you have to overcome, because only then will you fight the demons inside you. I mean, yes, Darkrai is your Pokemon,
Yeah.
but sometimes you have to fight this Darkrai, okay? You have to fight this Darkrai because you have to be, get over it. So you be yourself. Play the game with confidence. Talk to your friends with confidence. If you keep living your life in fear, then these people are going to keep riding circles around you. I mean, I used to be like that. I used to feel, I'm not saying that I didn't feel like I do. But then I have to accept that either I can sit like a chicken and keep trying to run away, or you don't give two hoots about them. They can do what they like, and then you just completely change. And that's what I did. I mean, you may have seen me at the start. I did so many videos in the start against the community ambassador program.
Yeah.
I did videos about me getting banned in the game. I did videos about Go Social as well. I'm not directly mentioning them, but indirectly mentioning them. I did, because what they did to me hurt. But I could do. I took on the 12th of October 92, when I said I quit the game. I didn't actually quit. I kind of decided, let me go off for a moment and let me think, how can I strategically reinvigorate myself to just forget those idiots and actually show them that what they can do, what they like, but it won't affect me. And then this is where I actually transformed it totally, and now I have two community ambassadors in the podcast. I mean, I would have never thought of involving Lord Chris J or even Luke to some extent. But then I saw to a lot of level the community ambassador program is going to be there for the game. As much as I hated it because of what Go Social did to me and Rose power usage from this ambassador program, I tell you, if you put Lord Chris J on one side and you put Pro-Ro on the other side, who would look like an ambassador to you? Lord Chris J. Because the whole point in the program is for you to represent your community. Niantic give you the free stuff, but at the same time, it's a voluntary program. You're not even getting paid, by the way. You're not even getting paid. It's a voluntary program, but you're supposed to help out your community. And Niantic give you these freebies to help your community grow, benefit. Yes, there's an element where you have to follow the terms of service, yes, to get into it. But ultimately, this is the goal of the whole thing. Now, you have someone like Lord Chris J who does that. On the other hand, you have Pro-Ro who thinks he's almighty and powerful because he's a community ambassador. He can treat players how he likes. He can actually select who is in the community and who isn't.
Wow, he sounds like an egomaniac, and all that power has gone to his head.
I tell you, Go Social is like a membership program. There are some elites in the Go Social community. One is Pro-Ro, the other is Carl Tattooist, the other one is Jaxaz, and the other one is Mike Newcombs. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you need their approval, then only you're welcome in the community. If either one of them have a problem with you, you're out. Out not just from the meetups, but you're out from the community. Like, for example, you take that Gigantamax meetup incident that happened in Merding.
Yeah.
Now, if he was a civilized ambassador, he would have known how difficult it was on that weekend for people to get the Gigantamax, Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. But no, he didn't. He saw me, and he thought of the past, and so he said, I'm not allowed to play. Did it go down well? No, it didn't. A lot of the Go Social players who were there heard everything that happened. They were very shocked. But I didn't want to argue with him because that would make me no different. I just went, yes, I know it was very sad, but I turned around, got back in, I walked back to my workplace, back in the car, half an hour back driving home. But this is how it is. They want to make you feel you're a bad person.
Yeah, backstage politics.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Like, for example, whenever I put a video thumbnail of mine on TikTok, a couple of times there's been instances of one or two Go Social players commenting on it saying, aren't you a banned player? I was like, what? Who are you? Huh? Yeah, there was one time where I did a raid hour in Bognor Regis. Obviously, you know me. I upload my thumbnail for videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
One of the players was Pokemon One's Fun was his name. He's one of the kids in Go Social. Right. I know who he is. He commented on the TikTok thing saying, aren't you banned? And I was like, who are you exactly? I knew who he was. I wasn't going to give him the liberty. But on honesty, it's ridiculous. Honestly, this Mometa, coming back to the Mometa thing, it's just got to the point where it needs to stop. Just hearing what's going on about it is making me feel like, what? This is just stupid, you know.
No, like as I told before, you
should be.
I want to have
if I were you, you should. In fact, to be honest, okay, maybe not in Whitehawk or Eastbourne, but you should just be there in Brighton, in front of the players. Go. Who cares what they say? Okay, especially one day, we should do it whenever I'm there.
Yeah.
And I'll watch it. And I'll watch exactly what they're doing. I may even record it.
No, you should. I mean, was it over the weekend? Were they into anything? I wasn't planning on doing it or anything. It was on the Saturday. I was just had to go out and do some food shopping. I managed to do one or two just because I was in the store. I just saw the thing light up and just jumped in and done one. And then, because where the group goes, they start down London Road by the open market and walk along London Road and then they head towards Pavilion and go somewhere else after that.
You mean level, right?
Yeah.
From the level?
Yeah, they go towards the level and then Pavilion and elsewhere. So there's me thinking I can try and avoid them by going up the back streets and up behind the station. And I didn't even thought they would ever go there, and they was all there, and I just felt so awkward. They was all standing there. It made me feel so awkward just walking past them all.
You should not feel awkward. You're as much entitled to being there as much as they're entitled to being there. Now, if they took the liberty of telling you you're not allowed to be here in front of all the players, that's not you being the idiot, that's them.
You're just walking past them.
In fact, if you want to prove to them how bad the whole thing is, you should show up more often. Because only then will they embarrass themselves in front of all the players. And all the players will see what they're doing.
Yeah, I get it. It's like at the same time, it's like I just want to run away and disappear. And also at the same time, it's like, no, fuck you. I'm allowed to be here, so screw you. who I am.
Exactly.
You know, but
you should listen to the second of you.
I know, but
the second part.
Because of my severe depression, it's like I just want to crawl into a hole and die.
I know.
You know.
No. Star Wolf. That's too easy.
I know.
Don't.
You know.
No.
I'm saying that
you have to, as much as it's difficult, you have to face your fears at some point.
Yeah, but they're winning.
Sorry?
Yeah, but my fears are taking over.
Fears? Then you have to fight it. I know it's difficult, but you have to fight it. Only then will you be able to come out of this more stronger. If you keep living in fear, then obviously they're going to keep running circles behind you. They're always going to have the upper hand. I'm not just telling you this in terms of Pokemon Go. I'm telling you this from someone who's experienced bullying at school and racism in my own life. I'll tell you, you have to face this. You know. I mean, like for example, I was very after when this whole thing happened to me, I was really sunk. But then, okay, Lord Chris J had a good talk with me. Actually, a lot of this transformation that I've made is actually down to him. That's why I respect him so much.
Oh, wow.
As much as he's a community ambassador, but he's really like he's really like transformed everything. And you know, he hasn't just. I mean, he completely hates Go Social as well. But obviously, he doesn't show it. But at the same time, he said to me, "You can either sit there, live in fear." Like when he was telling me about my videos, why are you hiding your videos as an unlisted video? Because that's what I used to do for Pokemon Go. All my other videos would be public. You know, TCG Pocket, video game, travel, tennis. They would all be public view. But Pokemon Go, I used to hide it behind an unlisted playlist. So that only those people who could have the link could watch it.
Yeah.
But then he told me, like, he said, your Nova Tour video was so good. Why are you hiding it?
Yeah, that's
I was like, well, I'm worried about Go Social. What about? Well, who cares about Go Social?
Yeah, that's what I've done.
If they want to dislike it, let them dislike it.
Yeah, that's what I've done with my main channel. It was all on private.
Why are you putting it on private?
Well, the same thing you just said.
I know. But then the thing is, like I'm telling you from what the Lord Chris J said to me. Let them dislike. Let them comment, whatever. You ban them from your channel anyway. Like I banned Ro, I banned Jack, I banned everybody.
That screenshot you sent me, it's like they're all stalking me and, you know, twisting everything. And
well, then this is the point. This is the point where you have to face it. I know there's a part in your mind fearing about it, but then it has to come to a point where you have to like face that demon that's there in front of you and say, no, I don't care about this anymore. They can do what they want. I'm just going to be me. And in fact, when you, to be honest with you, the best solution is, in fact, during the big meetups, like Gigantamax meetups and those kind of meetups, which are fully in person. The whole of the Brighton community is there. You show up. It doesn't matter whether Sakori is hosting it, because he's going to be an ambassador soon, and DT Hayward is hosting it. Doesn't matter. You show up there. Now, if they don't like you being there, let them create a scene. But all the other players around them are going to watch. Are going to watch the whole circus. Do you think the community players are going to respect these community leaders for the way they behaved with you? No. But if you live in fear all the time, you're only giving them the benefit. In fact, Dex Divers podcast is the best platform for you to just be you, because there's nobody, there's no Mamita, there's nobody of the Brighton community, nobody. It's just the 5 or 4 of us. You can talk about the game, you can talk about whatever you want, you know?
Yeah.
No one's going to judge you unless obviously Gaynor might comment. I'll just make a comment to her if she did. But no one, at this moment, she hasn't. So, all I'm trying to say to you, bro, obviously it's your call, but you have to come to a point where enough is enough, and you have to just face that demon and just be there. Doesn't matter what they say to you, block the noise, and you just say, I'm here for the Gigantamax event, I'm here to play, and I'm sure that's fair. If they create a scene after that comment, then it's not you who's the bad person, it's them.
This is what I've been saying all along.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say to you. Either you can hide behind the curtain, or you have to tackle this head on. Only then will this end. Because at the moment, Momita's is sitting cushy and is sitting happy in her own circle and her inner circle. She's not doing anything. She's got people in her inner circle who's doing everything. The police, Dana, D.T. Hayward, Sakori, these are all her inner circle. She's not doing anything, confronting anything on her own. She's just sitting there on her Twitch. Whereas the inner circle are the people who are actually causing problems for you. Now, if you tackle the inner circle, ultimately she will have to confront as well. Only then, once you confronted her and explained to her face to face, then this issue ends. Because right now, both sides have been hiding behind each other. She's hiding behind a computer and Twitch stream and her inner circle, and you're hiding behind, trying to hide in different places. Obviously, I'm not saying that I'm whatever I'm saying will fix this, but it will surely come to some reality point here where it's bound to end. It has to end.
Yeah.
Because it's not good for you. 100% not good for you. And from my perspective, I just feel it's not good for your well-being either, bro.
It's not good for me or my mental health at all.
No. How can someone like you, I mean, you shouldn't even be living your life like this, man. I mean, you're supposed to be just proudly, you're a content creator, proudly have your channels on public, just do what you do. Who cares about everybody else? But yeah, one thing I'm telling you now, don't hide behind the podcast, like doing YouTube comments on the stream. Come on the podcast.
It's a bit difficult when I don't have a computer, and when I use the podcast app, everyone sort of complains and echoes because the thing is echoing. So, yeah. Yeah, from that phone call from the
I have a potential solution. It's not cheap, but I think it's a solution. I'll send you something in the post. I don't know whether you've heard of a microphone a microphone company called DJI. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I have actually. I've seen a few people wearing them. That little square thing, isn't it?
It's it's not a small one. I can get you the bigger one.
No.
Now the thing is, what it is, I can get you
If you got a
something
link,
called the DJI
I can get it off
pack set.
Amazon.
Okay.
Right.
Now that set will come with a receiver and the microphone itself. Now the receiver, all you need to do is plug it into the phone and connect it to, I think it's called the DJI Osmo app. And obviously it's kind of self-explanatory, really, steps. But I think this will really help you with the microphone issue. Try and keep, what I would say to you is try and keep those things really safe. The DJI pack and the mobile phone that you've got with you right now. But yeah, that's what I think we can do. And hopefully that should solve the microphone noise issue. Because I think what's happening is that there's a lot of interruption coming from the built-in microphone of your phone. And I think that's causing the fuzzy sound.
I don't know if it's the phone itself or because I've got my phone inside this case. I could take it out. I don't know.
Well, we'll have to test something.
Yeah.
Because you can't be like this.
No, I mean, you can hear me clear now, and there's no issues, is there? No sound, is there?
No.
Unless it's
not at the moment.
No,
maybe it's even the app.
Yeah.
It could be the Riverside app. Yeah, so... But yeah, I'll also see if I can speak to some legal people as well. I know a solicitor who I can speak to. I'll explain to them the whole situation.
Oh, someone I can speak to them directly about everything. I can show them everything. Yeah,
definitely. I'll definitely. Well, I'll talk to them initially and see, and I'll give them your details. They can speak to you. Yeah. And we need to and see if we can get your stuff back because it's just madness. Honestly, madness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll also when I next go to, I think what we'll do is amongst ourselves. Just don't tell Gaynor or anybody this. But we'll amongst ourselves.
I mean, you're the only one I talk to these days now. That's about it.
I know. So what I'm trying to say is that amongst ourselves, we'll make a plan about Brighton. Well, definitely, I think the guy Gigantamax Machamp, I think, is next. Okay, so Gigantamax Machamp is next. So. In that one, we can make a plan to meet up before the thing.
Yeah.
And then, like, we can both head up in separate ways. Obviously, they don't know, like, we're both coming together or anything.
All right.
And you just head there. I'll meet you there, and then and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, I mean, it's just sad, you know. Like, I mean, obviously, I see people not just in the podcast, but we're talking, and obviously, I know when we talk about things like Dynamax, Gigantamax stuff on there, and then obviously when I ask you, obviously, in my mind, it's like he's probably not done any because he hasn't been able to go. No, So yeah, in all honesty, really, I think we need to tackle this issue. And I'll just say, like, look, I'm not obviously. Obviously, I'll just tell them that look, that he's here for the Gigantamax. Just let him play. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna try and solve this.
Yeah, I know. I mean, because it was last night and. From the hospital trip this morning with the mental health team. They've been asking me, you know, how I've been, have I had any more suicidal thoughts? And I told them, yeah, just because of everything and everything that's happened. it's got me so low now. You know.
No, bro. Look,
I know.
for this game, suicide is not even remotely worth it. Okay, I've had my account. I've lost my main. I tell you, one thing that destroyed me. I tell you, losing Mufti 53 really destroyed me. Especially not only just losing it, but losing it a week after I came back from GoFest Madrid, and that was my full 3 days of my trip to Madrid. All of the Pokemon Go that I did there gone. My Hundo Necrozma, everything gone, and my Ho-Oh Raid Hour. And funnily, it was like on the night after Ho-Oh Raid Hour, I lost all the Ho-Ohs that I did. Funny, it was on my favorite Pokemon's Raid Hour, but anyway, but I did literally so much PvP in that, getting to Legend. I had literally a lot of Hundos in there, Shundo Legendaries from raids, and it was all gone. I literally I begged with Niantic, even the chief community leader, her name is Kestrel, okay?
Yeah.
I met her in Madrid. She knows who I am. I messaged her in her emails. I told her, I even showed the picture of me and her when I met her in Madrid. You banned me. And she said, oh, well, because I'm talking against a community ambassador. Really?
Wow.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Yeah. You
can't go and ban me.
Wow.
I mean, I tell you, a lot of people, like, when they talk about the game, they ask me sometimes these questions. Oh, do you care about level 60? Oh, how are you doing on PvP? I'm like, I don't really care, mate. Because the part of me that was really into all this stuff has gone because it went with the account.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the account I'm using now is called Wimby52. Yes, okay, I do have good stuff on there. I'm not saying I don't. But do you think I can invest in stuff like PvP and all that into this account? No. Because I'm worried. What if Niantic tackles that one now? Anyway, I have to head off. Mr. Wolf, we'll definitely talk tomorrow, okay?
All right.
All right, then. Have a nice evening. Right. Take care. Bye.
Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.